Welcome to the Crawcast. I'm your host, George Krawczak, and this is what happened during the Super Bowl. And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. So, the Philadelphia Eagles are your Super Bowl champions, and they won 40-22. The Eagles' leading passer is Jalen Hurts, who threw for 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Their leading rusher was Jalen Hurts, who rushed for 72 yards and a touchdown, and their leading receiver was Devonta Smith, who had 69 receiving yards and a touchdown. And for the Chiefs, their leading passer was Patrick Mahomes, who had 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Their leading rusher was Patrick Mahomes, who had 25 rushing yards. And their leading receiver was Xavier Worthy, who had 157 yards and 2 touchdowns. It does get me curious. I wonder if this is the first Super Bowl where both teams' leading rusher and passer were both their quarterback. So, in this game, it was pure domination by the Eagles. They got up, I believe it was like 27-0, and just didn't let up. So, first of all, there was a couple of controversial calls right at the beginning. So the first there was a controversial penalty where A.J. Brown and Trent McDuffie were kind of battling back and forth for the ball, where A.J. Brown pushed Trent McDuffie and got called for pass interference. I do think this was the correct call because A.J. Brown did hit Trent McDuffie in the face, and I think it was just kind of like that smack him in the head contact, which led to the penalty. And then the second controversial call was Dallas Goedert and Trent McDuffie were both going up for like a jump ball, and Trent McDuffie kind of hits Dallas Goedert's helmet, and it technically was a helmet-to-helmet hit. I agree it was a bit soft, but I think it was still a helmet-to-helmet hit, and I think that was a fair penalty. Other than that, there was really only one other time where, I can't remember the defensive lineman, but I think it was Jalen Carter, hit Patrick Mahomes in the head, and it should have been called for roughing the passer, and they didn't call it. It was on where he fumbled. And so breaking down this game, honestly, I think this game kind of really just is the game that should have happened. The Chiefs were not a very good team all year, and they kept finding a way to win. Like, I think during the playoffs, it kind of how do I say this? Kind of made people forget how the Chiefs looked in the regular season. Because in the regular season, everybody just kept saying, okay, this is not a great team, yet they just keep on somehow winning and finding the craziest ways to win that it feels like it's unfair, like they're cheating or something because they keep finding the craziest ways to win. And then during the playoffs, they actually looked pretty decent. But so again, if everyone just looked at the regular season and ignored the playoffs, this would be the expected outcome. And I just think everyone was just waiting for the Chiefs to collapse almost throughout this entire year because they were not a very great team this year, and it just never came, and they kept somehow winning. And other than the quarterback and the kicker, the Eagles were the better team in every single way possible, and they should have won this game. And their defense really just dominated. So I'm recording this before they make the Super Bowl MVP, but I know it's going to go to Jalen Hurts because he's the quarterback. But I think there's a good case for like Cooper DeJean or Josh Sweat. Heck, even maybe just Vic Fangio in general, or like the whole defensive line, because that's what really won them the Super Bowl. Because Jalen Hurts, he played pretty good. He was like okay. He threw a bad interception, but overall he was just okay. He really didn't make that many mistakes. He was decent at rushing. He had that one really great pass to Devonta Smith, but other than that, he really didn't do much. The Chiefs, their defense did a really great job at shutting down Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley was just a non-factor in this game. And then for the Chiefs, it felt like they really had only one play going for them almost the entire game. Because like right at the end they came back, but it felt like a lot of that was during garbage time, where like the Eagles weren't even trying anymore. But so they had one play where DeAndre Hopkins was wide open, and it would have been like a 30, 40-yard gain. It would have been a huge play because there was no one near him. He was wide open, and he just dropped it, and he just dropped the pass, no, plain and simple. And you can't be doing that, especially in the Super Bowl. And so overall, the Chiefs were just the better team. I don't really like how the Eagles benched their starters at the end of the game. Like, I get it because I think it's one of those things where Kenny Pickett now has a memory of playing in the Super Bowl, and a lot of those linemen and defensive players can say, "Hey, look, I didn't just sit on the bench and win the Super Bowl. I actually played and had a few plays." But I just don't like that because they basically gave the Chiefs a free touchdown right at the end, and I get it. They're up like I think it was 37-14, and I get it. There's almost a 0% chance of the Chiefs coming back, but still, there's still a chance, and I just don't like the idea of benching your starters. Because also, you don't really have to worry about injuries because there is no, like, tomorrow. There's no next week. Any player that gets injured has till September to recover. So, like I said, I just didn't like the idea of benching your starters and having your backups in there, where I think there was probably like 7 minutes left ish in the game. Again, just not a big fan of that. And so overall, it was kind of a pretty boring Super Bowl. Again, I think everyone just felt a little bit tricked because the Chiefs played really well and turned it on in the playoffs, but just these were the two teams. The Eagles' defense was clearly better, and the Eagles as a whole team was clearly better. And then last time I mentioned is the halftime show. I don't know. I didn't think it was very good. I get it. This is probably just me because I don't really like rap music, but I feel like this wasn't even really like good rap music. He just kept going like beep bop 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 beep like over and again, and then whenever he was actually like singing, he was just mumbling a lot. Kendrick Lamar was. And so there was a woman in it. I can't remember her name, but she actually sounded really good. She did a really good job. And then I thought it was just a little bit weird. Samuel L. Jackson dressed up as Uncle Sam. I don't know, it was just kind of interesting. But overall, I didn't think it was a good show. I thought he mumbled a lot, and you couldn't really understand him. And it seemed like the crowd, other than that one Drake song, they weren't really into his songs. So overall, I give it a beep bop boop out of 10. That's what I'd give it. So, like I said, Chiefs clearly a better team, and that's what I predicted. Honestly, I did not think this like the only like thing in your head to even think about the Chiefs possibly winning is just them finding a way to win somehow. And that's what kept happening all season, where it's like, okay, you're a lesser than worst team and you don't deserve to be here, and you just keep on somehow winning. And so, other than that, like, I don't want to say delusion, but other than thinking like that, this is how I think everyone should have expected the game to end. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this type of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button like it owes you money, and I'll see you on the next one.